she was all happy because she did a 200-yard drive. She's like, I'm going to be on the hill.
And she,
I would be happy with that.
Yeah.
when was she move over and I'll sit with her? Because I gotta get over this.
I'm not getting up.
Present it.
You need to bring some in, you choose them before I put them out. No, I just ordered them.
I'm just going to get some stuff too.
It could be anything new.
Well, good evening. Welcome to the regular meeting of Bedford City Council. If you would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Selby? Selby?
Here.
Fluharty?
Here.
Smith?
Here.
Longino?
Here.
Spinks?
Here.
Cochee?
Here. And I have a motion to excuse Councilman Asbury from tonight's meeting by Smith, second by Longino. Call the roll, please.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith? Longino?
Here.
Spinks?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Council, you have the minutes of the work session of January 16th, 2024. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, can I have a motion for such? Approval by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
And you have the minutes of the regular meeting of January 16th, 2024. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, motion for acceptance by Longino, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. We have ordinance number 2-24.
A ordinance amending section 1957-11 of the zoning code of our ordinances of the city of Bedford and declaring an emergency regarding parking.
And have a motion for suspension. Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Motion for third and final by Smith, second by Longino. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. As Mr. Montello mentioned, this is amending an existing parking code that we have, and it specifically touches on prohibiting the certain type of parking in municipal parking lots and on municipal properties. Those prohibitions include commercial vehicles, RVs, boats, motorhomes, all of those would be prohibited in parking in these areas.
Seeing none? Call the roll, please.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes. Before we get into the reports, we have with us from the school board, Angelique Carter, if you would like to say a couple words.
I just wanted to come in, Angelique Carter, hello everybody. First year on the school board, so I wanted to come in and welcome, introduce myself to everybody and say hello. Excited to be on the school board, excited to work with other municipalities when it comes to the schools and everything that we're doing. Just want to make sure that I put an invitation out to everybody. Definitely come to our school board meetings, which is every first and third Thursday. Starting at 6 o'clock, we have a lot of great information that we're going over, so we would love to see everybody there. But if you have any questions, definitely either send them to our superintendent or our school board president, or even to myself. I am on the website, and I will make sure that we try to answer those for you. But we've got a lot of great things going on, so thank you.
Thanks for being here, and
Yes,
look forward to working with you for the new session here.
sounds good, thank you.
Reports, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a couple of items real quickly. First, I just wanted to provide a quick update. We are meeting tomorrow morning with the contractor for the Broadway project, an inspector from ODOT, as well as our staff and our engineering firm to review the timing and the control box and all of the loops at a number of the intersections along Broadway. They're not functioning according to our design. The city of Bedford designed that project and submitted it. We don't believe that those are operating properly. They've been causing some traffic issues, specifically at the West Grace and Broadway crossing. So they will be out hopefully to reprogram that. So we'll be out there tomorrow. Secondly, just want to provide a couple of things. First, if you get a chance, I only have a couple of these, but if you stop up, they are a county program. It's called the Scam Squad Alerts, and it's available through Ready Notify US. You can take a picture of that QR code, and they provide all kinds of updates to the most recent scams that are targeting residents. If it's you have a loved one that got in an accident, sent money, whatever those scams may be, they're up to date on the most the recent. If you get a chance, you can take a look. There's some information here. Just wanted to provide that. Also, many of you probably have received, if you haven't, you should be getting it any day now. It is our winter and spring 2024 program guide through the Parks and Recreation Department. Very extensive. I actually was joking with some staff that there's so much in here, the font's so small I can't read it, which is awesome. I mean, they have programs for everybody, and they continue to do a great job down at Ellenwood, and kudos to Mike and Bob and Sarah and the entire staff, Dan, Rick. They're doing a great job down there, so keep it up. We have copies here, and I believe there's copies out front. If you did not get one yet, or if you're not a resident and want to take a look at what we're offering. And lastly, just wanted to provide a quick update. There's also copies out front down here on the Bedford Commons expansion project. We had a public meeting a couple weeks ago. We also shared these plans with a couple of community organizations. We've gathered that feedback. We've incorporated that feedback into this new design. And we got a couple more hurdles to hopefully get over before we're actually formally bidding this. But I'm confident that City Council will be putting shovels in the ground later this year, which is very, very exciting. I think it's to be able to tackle a project like this. Kudos to the entire staff and council. for securing the grant funds to do so. And I think it's something that Bedford as a community, we can be proud of. So take a look at those renderings on the second page and third page are just some examples of what some of the features of the new park will look like. End of report.
Yeah, just let me add to that, this project, and we're all excited about it, it's really gonna enhance our downtown. The money for that is from a grant. Had some people say something about, oh, let's take that money and, fix our sidewalks or, it's money that's only earmarked that we can do these kind of projects. So it's not general fund money, it's grants that we have got specifically to do these projects. So we're not taking money from something else that we could do. People are getting a little confused on how we're using that money, but it's a specific grant. And also, we are not touching anything on the existing commons. We're not tearing down any monuments. People say we're gonna tear down monument. No, the existing side on the Broadway side, it's not gonna change. That's all staying. So the people that were out there panicking that, oh, we're gonna be losing our monuments, cutting down trees, no, none of that. That stays. This is a specific grant for this project, which I'm really excited about. And again, it's earmarked money that can only be used for this kind of project. So I just want to clear that up right up front. Yeah.
And just to add to that real quickly, and I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge them, we also received a substantial donation from the Bedford Auto Mile Association earmarked to go towards this project. When we first rolled this out and we started talking about it probably 4 or 5 years ago, we didn't have the funds to do so, and they want to be the first to contribute and say, make this happen, and provided the city with a substantial donation. So there was also money from them as well that is earmarked for this project. Thank you, good point, Mayor. End of report.
Mr. Lunder.
I'll just thank everybody for coming. No report tonight. Have a good week.
Thank you. Madam Finance Director.
Thank you, Mayor. I also have no report tonight.
Thank you. Council, Mr. Salvi.
Good evening. I've been working on preparing a ward newsletter for Ward 2 that should come out fairly soon. Also, soon we'll have a date for the meeting to discuss resident issues related to the high school students, some, not all students, who have been allegedly trespassing and allegedly doing drugs on some of the property of residents on Helper and Darlington roads. I've been meeting with Ward 2 residents who've had identified problems in the ward. Had discussions with the gentleman whose child was bitten by a dog. There was one resident who brought a concern regarding snow removal on Solon Road. I helped one resident, and thank you to our Economic Development Director for following up and contacting this business owner who wants to renovate a building in town, which would be a benefit, I think, to the city. Any residents of Ward 2 who would like to volunteer their time, I'm going to be coming up with hopefully some innovative programs and which need volunteers to participate. So if anybody would like to participate and help the city, give me a call. You can call me at my residence, or if you call, I guess the Water Department newsletter has my phone number, it's online, and sooner or later I'll be, I had injured my foot, but it's much better. I'll be going door to door as much as I did when I was running for city council. So my residents in my street, in my ward, will be seeing me shortly. Thank you. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Fluharty.
I just got one thing. Mike, the lighting problems that we do have in the city, we repaired all these lights now, or are we on a program again for this?
First Energy has been out making repairs to the street lights that were out, yes. They're not all repaired. but they've been actively, I have to give credit to them. We reached out to our representative because we had concerns over how long that list was. And there were some lights that were on that list from the fall that we submitted in the spring. And since we made that communication, it's been about 3 weeks that they've been out making those repairs.
Are they putting in new LED lights when they're replacing them?
I'm not sure the type that they're replacing them with. That I don't know. I'd have to inquire.
That's it in the report.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
Yes, I would just like to welcome everyone here. It's always good to see new faces in the crowd. Just to touch on what Vic was saying, or to answer the question, they're not replacing those with LEDs. They're just going back with a new bulb or with the new closure or something. They're not doing LEDs because I know in some communities people complain, oh, you put that thing in front of my house, it's like my whole house up. And so I think they got that and said, oh, no, we're not going to do that because they don't want the complaints. Other than that, I just hope that everyone has had a good day, great week, and we'll have a great year in our advancing city. Last but not least, I would like to express my condolences to the family of Mrs. Jean Vasquez. She was one of my neighbors and in my ward. I would just like to, once again, I'd like to express my condolences for my family and especially from the city of Bedford. I attended her viewing today, and I made it clear to her family that if there's anything that I or the city could do for them, please contact me. And in talking to her family, they've been here in Bedford for a while. And as a matter of fact, they kind of watched Mr. Malice grow up here. So, and I came back and told them, hey man, these people really know you and they know the city. So once again, my condolences. End of report. Thank you.
Mr. Longino?
And I won't be long, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to thank Mr. Malice again. He made me look like another hero, something small, when I asked him about the temporary no parking signs, and the next day we were gone. And so I got a call saying, hey, their signs are gone. I said, yeah, I took care of it for you. So thank you for taking care of that. Besides that, just remember, folks, take in your garbage cans, please. So, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Mrs. Spinks?
Good evening, happy February to everybody. I've warmed our bread because we won't be here for Valentine's, so happy Valentine's to all the ladies and the guys out there. I know the seniors will be having something at Ellenwood coming up next week, isn't it, Mike?
Yes.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's at Ellenwood this year, so. And you missed it, that's always fun with the seniors at the high school mingle with the senior citizens. So it's always fun, I always enjoy doing that, so that's coming up. Also, I want to apologize to my resident. I had some dental surgery. So when I was out this morning, I missed a couple of days of being out and picking up trash, and it is atrocious. And I thank some of the residents that do pick it up on their tree lawn and everything, but I got out a little bit this morning, and when you have dental surgery, cold is not your friend. So even with a mask, so I apologize. It's supposed to be warmer this week, so I will be out there, and I appreciate the people that do help me keep Ward 1 clean and the rest of the city too. And Mike, thank you for having, I noticed the crews are out hitting some of the major things. It's everywhere. It's so sad to see all the trash that people just don't care, you know, and all the wasted food that's thrown out in food containers and everything. So it's kind of sad to see that. Also, Mike, thank you for your quick response. I had a lot of times I had a resident called, and the mailbox that's been on things, I mean, has been there forever. And all of a sudden, without no notice, I look and I always see the kids in the morning there, they catch the bus there, the mailbox is out there. So I contacted Mike, and usually the post office will let us know that they're taking something, but Mike, they didn't. And I know a lot of their reasoning is because of, like everything else, being short-staffed, and they're keeping everything pretty much going through designated boxes were around the thing, but it's kind of sad because it's so, I used to have one in front of my house. It's like the convenience is not there anymore, but a lot of times, like I said, they will let us know they didn't this time. Also, on, the end of Cresswell, while I was out doing the thing, I contacted Mr. Malice because there was a great big dump truck and they were going up behind, at the end of Cresswell, it's the dead end. The residents behind it, we own property at the end, and at the other side is the resident, and Maple Heights is right there. Well, the lady was having some stuff done to her backyard. Well, the company just come through our property, went up by the residents on the end, and left a big mess. And Mike, thank you, Sean and them, they were on it very quick. And like I said, they make, like Tony says, they make us shine a lot of times. We have a real good fine machine up here where we, as council, we get the complaints and we have a chain of command, and that's how things are done, and everything's without us running right to that department. We call Mike and he gets it to the right people and they get it done. Some exciting news is we are getting ready, tickets go on sale tomorrow for the Bedford Historical Society. This is my Bedford Historical President report. And we're, our reverse raffle tickets go on sale tomorrow at the museum. You can call 440-232-0796 to get your tickets. And this is one of our big fundraisers. This will be at Ellenwood in this year's theme, since it's March 16th. It's the day before St. Patty's. It's going to be, the theme is you don't have to be Irish to be lucky. So make sure you get your tickets to that. And like I said, you can call the museum. And some other exciting stuff is coming up. Happy Valentine's to everybody, and in the report.
Thank you. And you mentioned the Valentine's dance. I believe you have to call ahead to reserve a spot.
They've already, I think, yeah.
Okay, filled up already.
Last Friday, I believe, was the deadline for that.
All right, let's get on with business. Ordinance number 4-24.
Being an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a Phase 2 stormwater services agreement with the Cuyahoga Board of Health for the authority and consent to provide Phase 2 stormwater services in years 2024 and 2025 and declaring an emergency.
I have a motion for suspension by Longino, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. This is in agreement with Cuyahoga County for, as the ordinance states, a stormwater service agreement. In essence, the county will provide inspections to 167, to be specific, outfalls that we have throughout the city. Those outfalls are fed by various streams and creeks that we are aware of that take stormwater. And they do the appropriate testing, and all of that is required for the city to maintain our MS4 permit with the Ohio EPA. And that is, an MS4 permit allows us to operate a storm system. So the county provides these services for us, as well as others. They come out if we need specific training. They have staff that will train our staff, so they provide a number of services. But this specific is the testing of all of our outfalls in the city.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes. Ordinance number 5-24.
Authorizing the city manager to purchase a Lucas chest compression system from Stryker EMS and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension, Spinks, second by Salvi. Call the roll, please.
Salvi,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes. Motion for third and final by Smith, second by Longino. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. The department utilizes the Lucas chest compression systems during CPR. They're actually considered standard care now and actually provides CPR. The department has 3 units right now. 2 of those units were identified in our 5-year capital improvement plan that we need to look to replace those. One of those 2 units did fail. We're unable to get those repaired. They're considered out of its useful life. So this is an emergency repair to replace the device. Stryker Medical is the sole source provider of this piece of equipment.
And with our extended response times to the hospital, this becomes an even more critical piece of equipment to keep those chest compressions going, because if you've ever done it, just doing it for a few minutes is exhausting. So this is a real vital piece of equipment for our guys over there. Call the roll, please.
Selby,
Yes, and I've done CPR in the hospital, saving probably 10 people, keeping them going. And I've done CPR on 2 people out on the street. People had one guy was down, he was cutting his grass, he had a heart attack. So I encourage everybody to learn CPR. Anyway, sorry for taking up so much time, but yes.
Simply yes is good.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes. Ordinance number 6-24.
Being an ordinance amending section 911-13 entitled Backflow Protection of the codified ordinances of the city of Bedford and declaring an emergency.
Sir. And it's our wish to put that on first reading. And I have a motion for such by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Call the roll, please.
Selby,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes. Ordinance number 7-24.
An ordinance authorizing all actions necessary to accept the Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, NOPEC that is, 2024 Energized Community Grant.
And motion for suspension by Smith, second by Longino. Call the roll, please.
Selby,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes. Motion for third and final by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. The city was awarded, as the ordinance says, a grant through NOPEC. We've been successful in obtaining these grants, almost a decade.
Long time.
And we get between $30,000 and $40,000 annually. This year we received north of $30,000, and that money is being earmarked to help offset the cost of replacing the boiler system. The 2 boilers for this complex failed, and we went ahead and had those replaced and went through the bidding process last year. These funds are going to help offset that cost, and that was north of $125,000 to do that project.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Selby,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes. And now we come to the hearing of citizens. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comment.
Thank you, Your Honor, and all the councilmen. I'm a practicing physician in the state of Ohio, and I've been sitting in upstate for 38 years, and I believe in the fairness of the system, and that's the reason I came here.
Sir,
Excuse
me, could we have your name and address, please?
Yes, my name is Dr. Sandhu, Sandhu. I live in Solon, 37010 Halton Court, signature to Solon, Ohio. I've been attending this Bedford Sikh temple for the last 25 years, since 1999, and I do run a free clinic every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and basically serving the Sikh community. And if you may be aware, there's things going on almost for a year that I belong to a group who want to remain here, plus there is another group who want to separate, who illegally took a lot of money from Bedford and purchased Solon Church, but that's background. So I was speaking on October 22 for the group that's called Bedford Leadership Team, and I was attacked by a group of people. It's all in the report, and the report number is there. I filed the report with Officer Andre DiMatteo, and so this all happened on October 22, and my wife, who is with me, she was also attacked physically. I was attacked, I was choked, and I had sustained a abrasion on the right thumb. The medical report is also listed with Andre DiMatteo's report, and since I believe in fairness, there was something happened on December 3. After a couple of months, action has been taken by the Bedford City Hall, and that person is going to be held accountable because he was also attacking our group, threatening the firearms, and also he attacked handicapped person. And I believe the whole Bedford Sikh Temple has a CCTV camera inside and also outside, and we have also captured some of my friends and other congregation members have captured the private video of the attack happening on me. So I am a respected, I feel, I'm not acting as pompous, but I feel I'm a respected member of the Sikh community. I go to a different hospital as a specialist. My pride was lowered, I was attacked, and I'm expecting some kind of accountability for the person who attacked me. And so far I haven't seen anything. And I have also the two witnesses also here who were part of the congregation who are listed in the report, and they witnessed the whole thing. And as traditionally the case goes with witness, and of course there is a high suspicion that video recording was not given immediately, and the committee of the Sikh temple might have tampered with it. There's a high suspicion, but I believe in the fairness of the city deciding that, and I think I want a fairness and some action, because this person who attacked me, one of the person who attacked me, also threatened me on December 10 when I was an activist for the group I was speaking for, and he threatened me again that I'm going to teach you a lesson again. So that's all I have to say, and I have all the report numbers, everything here, but I feel that this is not what happens here. And if there's a tampering of the evidence by video CCTV, that should be brought to the attention. And I believe a lot of people have been calling me, threatening me with my life, and I think some action should be taken by the City Hall. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, I did get a call from your office this afternoon.
Yes, this Jackie is my office manager. She's a nurse. She has been working with me, or she has known me since a resident. I was at St. Luke's since 1989, and I never do such a things. And I have been very kind of depressed since attack, because I sustained injury. I was virtually choked. Why it will not show on the CCTV camera? On the other hand, the committee with the CCTV camera, when they record our meeting, they have been showing to other people when we speak up. So this is something going on. City should be aware of that. This solar group is really intimidating us. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and I pass it on to our law director.
Yes, sir.
He
Yes.
tried calling, but the office was
Yes.
closed.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if after the meeting you want to.
Yes, I would like to meet Mr. Montallo. Yeah. Yes. I also had a couple of friends who know me for 35 years. They know me. One is an engineer, one is a lawyer, and they're my good friends. I think they know me. They can speak the truth what happens. Thank you, sir. I will speak with Mr. Montallo also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
My name is Sabrina Future. 15 Charles Street. And I'm very nervous now and saddened from what I heard. I am sorry that happened to you. You was my father's doctor,
Yes.
Donald Collins.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
I am so sorry. Thank you, Jackie, for your service. I remember you.
Thank you so much.
I'm nervous because I was gonna. I was gonna ask about the CPR training, because last year it was mentioned that there was some free CPR training, and I called Ellenwood and I got nothing. It was like, I didn't get anywhere.
The CPR training that occurred last year, the fire department put that on. It was held at Ellenwood, but it was a program that the department had. I don't believe anything's scheduled yet this year, but if we do schedule one, we'll make the announcement.
Okay, thank you. My next question is, I didn't get the address, but it was Omega Painting on Northfield. It was like Northfield and Charles, the building right there at the end. They came in, they redid the whole building, but they're gone now, and it's empty. They weren't there a couple months.
It's a Northfield Road property?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're familiar with it. The property's cleaned up, but
What happened?
a business owner owns it. I don't want to get into specific, but yeah, it's owned and being operated by a business owner. Yeah, they did clean up the property. It looks very nice. If it's the same one that I'm.
But they're gone. Omega Painting, the sign is gone. There's no sign up there at all.
Yep, I'm familiar with it.
Okay, but I just wanted to know what kind of business was coming, because I live right there. Do you know?
I don't know what the business owner's intended use is for the building. I don't want to speculate.
What was their permit for?
I can pull that. I would imagine I did painting work. I think we inspected the inside work for any alterations if they were to do any plumbing or electrical, but I'd have to pull that from what the building department was requested of.
Thank you. And my last statement and request is, Mayor, you know, we've had conversation about this, but last month was Martin Luther King month, January, and our city is closed. You guys get off on Martin Luther King, but our city does nothing for Martin Luther King celebration. And just hearing this doctor's statement, we need to do better, and we need to start having things in our city to address diversity, living in harmony and unity, regardless of our nationality, our race, our color. Now, what I'm going to request to start, that it won't cost you anything, but a decision. And that is, if you guys are off, please give the garbage people the day off. Because when I went to Martin Luther King's museum, that was the biggest exhibit that spoke to me that I'll never forget. That garbage wasted because they went on strike. Now, if you guys are off, we have off for other holidays. I'm offended that you guys are off, but the garbage workers aren't. I would appreciate it if we could get that on that day. And then I'm willing to bring in some other suggestions for Martin Luther King celebration. I have a girlfriend who goes all through the city, Cleveland, Warrensville, all over, that she brings in essays and contests for students and teachers and citizens about just us coming and living together. We don't have to create anything new. We just have to open the door and invite other things in to cultivate a safer, healthier, more acceptable community. And then it's February. Black History Month. We have nothing at the Historical Society this month. We have speakers. I'm offended. I mean, I'm here to offer my services. I live for God and His people. And it's quite evident that we need to learn how to live together and deal with these issues in a better way. That's all I have to say. You guys have my number. I've given you the opportunity. I'm willing to come to the table and come up with some suggestions and even help. But after I hear that, and that's my father's doctor, was my father's doctor, my dad is gone, but he gave excellent service. I'm saddened and I'm disappointed in us as a city. And I'm giving my time and my resources or whatever to make this a better place, because this is why I moved here. My grandmother did it where she was, and I'm living to do it where I am. God bless you, and I just pray that we do better. Thank you.
Ms. Future, I just want to tell you that the city of Bedford does not control the garbage. That's a whole different, we contract with those people, so we can't control when they let their people off.
But if we pay them, we can ask them to do it. We pay them. We pay garbage. No, we don't pay. I pay garbage every month.
But it doesn't work like that, Ms. Future.
Well, however it works, it's a policy, just like you guys change policies and procedures and ordinances. I'm quite sure they can do it too.
Well, they can, but we can't change their policies and procedures.
But you could just ask them, just don't collect on that day. That's all I'm saying. If you don't want to call and do it, I'll ask them, what do we have to do?
And secondly,
I'm just asking the city to back me up if I have to go that route. That's all. It's something major to me, because we don't collect them on other days. So.
In some cases, on days like that, they're considered their holidays, so a lot of times they get the holiday, like with police departments, and they work and they get time and a half for double time. So it might be considered a holiday, and they're still working on it because they got the holiday. So that's for their benefit as well.
I get you, but we're off here, and whatever I need to do. But like I said, it is a national holiday, just like every other holiday.
okay, and another thing I want to speak on is, I think that the school system is doing the Martin Luther King celebration. That's who's doing that in the city. They've coordinated some things with the Historical Society to come together to do that. So there are things going on in the city.
What? I don't know any.
Well, you got the school board is the school board is doing, not the school board, but the communication school board is doing that. We can't, we're not going to step on their toes. If they're doing,
we can work together.
okay, well, if they're doing it, then they're doing it. That's all that's the way I see it. And I agree with you. Something has to be done, but the school picked it up. They said, we're going to do it, so that's who's doing it.
Okay.
The Historical Society, speaking as the president, we have an ongoing exhibit. And we work with the schools, we're working with several, Frank, we've even talked to you several times, several of the cities. We didn't want to have just a Black History Month. We wanted to have an ongoing, permanent exhibit there of Black history in our museum. We recognize Black History Month, but we want it to be a permanent exhibit, so that it's not just recognized 1 month out of the year. It's recognizing our history is very important to keep alive. So we're striving. Betsy Lee, the director, is doing a phenomenal job, and thank you, school board. We have meetings all the time. We have someone from the school just had a meeting in there yesterday. Jack Draga has done a wonderful job, and we have done consulting. He took about 6 months process, almost longer than that, to do this Underground Railroad exhibit in there, and we're still working on it, and we're getting our kids involved in it, because our kids learn from our history, and it's very important. So the Historical Society is, but we're not just having Black History Month, we're having Black history all the time, every day.
I hear you, and I thank you, but I don't know, if you the president, you should know, but Betty had asked me to be the speaker for this month, and then it was canceled, and we have no speaker.
We don't have one this month because.
I know,
we've got-
but
yeah.
I was asked to be the speaker, and I was told we didn't have any. So all I'm asking is for us to learn to work together, better, harmony, and unity. If I give my time and I'm offering my service, some of these things that I'm hearing, I don't know, but that's on you. It would eliminate a lot of what we just heard. That's my point. And it's gotten too bad that my father's doctor has to come here. Yes, this is Black history, but our history started before the Underground Railroad. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. My name is Pat French. I'm a resident of the Villa San Bernardo Apartments, 1160 Broadway Avenue, since October of 2020. In November of 2021, I came to this city council meeting and I asked for help from the city with this apartment complex. Here it is, February 2024. Nothing has really changed. All of the problems that we had back then, we still have today and even more. Dogs were and are an issue, barking, running loose, jumping on and scaring people, and their waste is not cleaned up. We have squatters who just moved in when the parents may have moved out or died, and they cause nothing but trouble. There have been children not registered, run around for hours of the night, leaving doors unlocked, and even set off the fire alarm at 2:30 in the morning. All of these incidents were from people under the age of 40. There are numerous police reports, and they document all these complaints. During the past 3 years, we have had multiple outages, whether no power, no air conditioning, but mostly no heat. That is why we are here today. I am here today. The 3 buildings, A, B, and C, are run on different systems. When one goes out, it is usually only that building, but sometimes 2 or more go out at the same time. Last year, the apartment buildings B and C, which I am a resident of, the heat was out for 30 days. We kept being told that the parts were on order, but that the ships weren't coming in from China. We received no compensation for the inconvenience. Testa did provide a small heater to each apartment, which did not even heat enough heat to have a normal day. We feared that the heaters, all going at the same time, could cause a possible fire. Now building A, which has no heat, and it's been 22 days. And we always get is the same answer, all the parts are ordered. So now we're reaching out to the mayor, the building department, fire department, all of council, anyone that can help. That we seniors, we need to have something be done for us. Thank you.
Ma'am, what was the building?
It's the Villa San Bernardo. Oh, the building right now that's out, it's called the A building.
Okay, I'm sorry, but the whole
The
complex.
Villa San Bernardo Apartments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where the nuns used to be?
Yes, sir. A 100-year-old building and a 60-year-old building.
Right. Tell you there, when I ran for city council, and I can identify some other apartment buildings that are horrendous, and I was surprised that they were in the city of Bedford. They looked okay outside. I was actually scared going up the stairs because I wasn't quite sure what I would find, and 2 people were murdered in the adjacent apartment. But so, thank you.
I do appreciate for all of Mike and Stan. I do hope we look into this. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, the building department's aware of it and, so in contact.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Thank you.
is Mike Olding, 695 McKinley. And, Mr. Mayor, John, at the time you weren't mayor, John, you were Ward 2. Bedford, they got given from the bike shop. I think 2 bikes around that were worth somewhere around like $8,000 a piece, John, and they were supposed to be used for the law department to ride around during the summer and during the winter, John, to keep up on whatever little stuff was going on. And this is back in 2019. And I don't know if you remember that.
I can touch on it. Yes, they did. They donated a bicycle, excuse me, and they outfitted it. We've used it. I think we actually used it on a couple occasions last year when we did a park patrol. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is used every single day. A lot of that has to deal with manpower as well. If we're low on manpower due to an injury, due to vacation, due to staff calling off sick, it doesn't allow us to dedicate an officer to be on that bike. He's going to be in a cruiser. If we've had issues downtown or if we've had issues in other specific areas, we have used it on occasion, yes.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen them riding around anywhere. I know they had the 2 year, the 1 year, and that's the last time I've seen them on. I haven't seen them on the streets anywhere. And the other thing is, the lady was mentioned about trash in the city of Bedford. How hard would it actually be to have whether the city, whether council people or have the prisoners go out with trash pickers and pick all the trash up. It's like, it'll give them, it'll take care of the feeding. I mean, you're feeding them, you're housing them. It's like, so, I mean, make them work for it. I'm sorry, that's just the way I am. But it's like, it'd make everybody earn their care, earn their keep. And I'll let you respond to that.
Yes, go ahead.
So right now, we no longer house prisoners in the Bedford jail. They're housed in the Solon jail. But even out there, they don't perform that as well. It's what we may see on the highway. Most of the time those are individuals incarcerated either on a state or federal level. I'm not saying it's not possible, but you're not going to see a municipal police officer going around with individuals collecting trash in that manner. We used to work as more frequently. We would get youth assigned through the Cuyahoga County Juvenile, and they would come out and we'd go around and collect trash on a weekend. That still occurs, but I will say the Cuyahoga County Juvenile Court, to the benefit of some of the youth or their families, it has become, they have more options. They don't necessarily have to come back here and perform that here. They're just given a blanket. You have to provide X number of community service at various areas, and they can accomplish that in that way. So we've received less through Cuyahoga County Juvenile Court, but we've done some programs like that. The other thing though, even if there were individuals here, we want to have as many officers patrolling town, responding when necessary. So you're taking an individual off of the road to do something like that. I just don't know if it's feasible given manpower. But that's, but we don't house prisoners here anymore.
But it would give the youngsters a sense of something done, that they're getting something done, and they're cleaning up a city, John, that got messed up. Yeah, you see them on the highway, yeah, I understand. They come from the workhouse. It's like, there's no money. There's no money at all where be donated towards the workhouse to have
them come out here?
To have them come out here and clean up.
I've never looked into it. I can look into that. I don't know if they will. I never have, but I can look into that.
I clean up on my tree lawn. I got empty 2020 bottles. All the old bottles from way back when. I tossed all over the place. And this way, it keeps things somewhat cleaned up. And one other thing is the mayor mentioned it earlier, or maybe it was you that mentioned it earlier on. I might be mistaken. That you don't have money to fix sidewalks anymore. Well, when I moved to Bedford 29 years ago, if your sidewalk was that far up, you got a letter in the mail. If you didn't fix it, they had a concrete company come out and they fixed it, and you got billed for it. And I fixed a number of mine, but one I didn't get to, and it cost me $47 at that time. Yeah, I said that was 29 years ago.
Yeah, that's a deal. You got a deal on that. But no, we do. The city does do. We have a sidewalk program. It's not a ton, but we have been spending approximately $50,000 every year. Usually, it's in the area where we've recently performed street work. Okay, so what we do is we'll replace sidewalks that have been lifted or heaved due to the tree lawn trees. But we also, when we go out and we get quotes for those, we get them from multiple companies on estimates on how many blocks we think we need to replace. That we'll also get that cost per block locked in to where if a resident wants to do, for instance, a sidewalk by their aprons, or if they want that replaced, they can jump on board and get that price. Last year, the majority of it, that was used along the Broadway project. There were sidewalks, a lot of it actually it helped offset some of the costs associated with, we had to replace a few hundred of the handicap ramps with the little knobs. So I think just the replacement of those, the ramps walk part, it was over $250,000 along the whole stretch of Broadway. And that was solely on the city of Bedford. ODOT did not cover any of that. So the sidewalk program last year went to help offset some of those costs. But in the previous years, we did some up in Councilman Fluharty's ward. This year, if there's any funds, they will most likely go towards the area of Turney Road, because we've gotten a $250,000 grant to do that street through Cuyahoga County. So we'll be looking at some walks in that area. I wish we can get, 15 streets done a year. Unfortunately, we can't, but we do have some money allocated to that annually.
Because my wife would walk the dog around, and there was couple of neighbors uptown, which was about that high up. And she caught it, and down she went. And I said, I had to go help her to get her up. I mean, so it's like, it's not just me. It's not just her. It's everybody in this room right here. And it's like, everybody put forth their effort to keep their part of everything cleaned up. We wouldn't have this problem. And if, I said, I tell it straight, it comes straight from here. I tell from the gut. I tell you the way it is, and if you don't like it, you can throw me one of the ones you don't use, as long as you feed me decent. But no, it's like, no, I tell you the way I see it.
I respect
And, yeah, I know, there's stuff I have to clean up around my house, which I've had my trash can out on the street, out on the sidewalk or out on the curb for the last 3 days, because I had a resident skunked for a month. They decided to take up residence in my garage, and we finally got him. The warden and myself, we finally got him out of there. But otherwise, it's like I have all that to clean up yet, and it does stink.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. If we'd all chip in and do our own yards, we wouldn't be having these discussions.
And that's when you were over in too. And I can't remember his name now.
Posick? Oh, and Posick?
Hopeless, yeah.
Right,
Hopeless, yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
How's everyone tonight?
Good.
Great. Washington, Interstate. You were speaking about funds for the street. Northfield going southbound is hideous. So, if you could just
Both
get
places bad.
like a little $5 out of the barrel and do a little something. I mean, because it's preposterous. You have to drive in the middle of the street. Now, don't tell the cops. Both lanes, because it's really bad. And then, not only that, the barber shop that's on Northfield and Paul, is that closed?
I don't know.
No, not that I know of. Northfield and what's the intersection?
Northfield and
The
Paul.
old ice cream
It was
place.
vacant.
It was empty the other day, but he was there a week ago still cutting hair.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if he just took a vacation or what.
Okay.
But the street, Northfield Road, we know how bad that is.
Okay.
It's a state route, just like Broadway. We gotta wait for the state to do it.
Okay.
And we gotta wait for the state to. We're always sending them stuff and contact with them to get it fixed. But it's on their schedule, not ours.
Right, understand.
And that's unfortunate, but we don't have the $4 or $5 million to fix the street. So we gotta wait for the state, if you wanna add anything to that.
To add to that, when we were getting ready to start Broadway, Mayor and I, we were involved in a meeting with ODOT, and we inquired about that. We inquired not only about Northfield Road, complete resurfacing, but we have been pushing for, I think Clint Beller and Sean Francis have been pushing ODOT to address the Northfield Road Bridge for about 7 years. They finally are starting that project. They started a couple weeks ago. So Northfield Road Bridge is getting refurbished. We have some concerns as far as the extent of that, but there's going to be some extensive work taking place there. And we did ask for a timeline of when they are looking at Northfield Road. They did not have a plan, a timeline to share with us. We asked them to assess it, look at the condition. So we're trying to push that along. The challenging part is typical funding mechanism is 80-20. So the city would be responsible for 20%. Now, the good news is we've made substantial improvements. For instance, the curb lane on the opposite side in front of Zelia. When we did a water line there years ago, we repaved all that. We just recently made repairs to the intersection. City Council authorized improvements to the intersection at Solon in Northfield, which was horrendous. We made improvements to that. We're documenting all of the costs that we've had to put out because it allows us to negotiate a lower percentage. We did that with Broadway. With Broadway, they came at, ODOT wanted the city to contribute 20%, and we got that lowered to 15% over what we've done over the 25-year period. So we're detailing that information now to hopefully lower our percentage. But it's something that we did talk about. The administration and council spoke on this during last year's budget, our budget discussions. Because I'm gonna be honest, if they came at us right now and said we're gonna do Northfield next year, the city's gonna be forced to borrow that. We're gonna have to contribute well over $1 million. So we need to start planning and look forward to when ODOT is ready, that we're in a position where we can contribute our portion. Unfortunately, I don't have a timeline for you though.
I mean, but so how does that work? Is there like grants or anything that the city can get, or, I mean, how do you come up with the percentage?
We could apply for funding, but there isn't a funding source that's gonna be that high. I mean, Northfield Road, corp limit to corp limit, I'm really taking a guess here, but we just did Broadway, and Broadway was, I think it was approaching $3.5 million. Yeah, so Northfield Road, my guess is probably gonna be, it'll be over 4 million. You know, you're looking at the percentages, it's a big ticket. So there isn't a grant that is $4 million. You know, there's some small areas, you know, maybe we can get a grant that would cover all of the, I mentioned those handicap, the ramps to the sidewalk. The Broadway ones were put in not long ago, but there was a slight change in the Department of Transportation specs to where every single one of those had to come out, no matter what. And it cost, and we had to eat that cost 100%. So Broadway, every single one of those ramps, there were 200 and some ramps, we had to replace solely on ODOT will only do the street. Even downtown Bedford, they would not pave the parking. Even though it's the street, it's not a road. So we had to pay for that. Now, could there be a grant to help cover all of the handicap ramps? Yes, to lower, but ODOT's going after state, they're going after their highway funds to do projects like this. We're on their radar, we started, I think we first brought it up, actually it might have been 3 years by now, 4 years ago, but I don't have a timeline on it yet.
Well, I'll just keep dodging them. And then another thing, what are they doing under the bridge by the water stream?
So that's part of the Northfield Road Bridge project. It has to deal with some of their draining, they're shoring up where the creek is, they're working up with Metro Parks, they're accessing that area right underneath the bridge, but they're also going to be utilizing our access drive at the cemetery. They're bringing in boulders to shore up so that I believe there's no erosion. Some of it has to deal with the drainage going up up to the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, and then obviously the bridge, we've been sharing photos of the fencing that is failing, the parapet walls that are failing, all of that. I think we first started sending photos 5 years ago, 7 years ago. So we've been documenting it. We're glad that it's finally improving. Our concern is that the more they dig into that, they're gonna realize the more work they have to do.
So it's not gonna like damage the beams on that bridge, is it, while they're down there digging?
No, I think I trust that ODOT and the engineers are doing what they need to do on that. That's not a City of Bedford project.
And one last thing, the shop next to, the old shop that used to be like the donut shop, it's been closed forever. Has anybody purchased that yet?
No, the last that, I don't believe the family is interested in selling that property.
Well, I did meet the lady. Yeah, she's an older lady. Yeah, I met her one day, and,
The daughter or the
no, I think it was the,
actual?
yeah, the actual lady. She's much older. And I was, coming through, and I seen her over there, and I questioned her. Well, basically, the reason why I was gonna question her, because they used to have a whole bunch of old, like, cigarette machines and things, and I love collecting things. So that's basically why I wanted the building, to get all the collection and things out of there. But then I looked, and I forget how much she said that she was selling it for, but it looks so condemned now. I mean, she said there's no way you can even use it, the walls is all.
Yeah, they were issued a notice to make substantial improvements, and I know there were family members out there the one day cleaning up the property. And they had shared with us that they were not interested, but, we can look into that again.
Yeah, because I know she said something about the roof and the walls or something. It might need to be repairing. I know she said a lot of work needs to be done, but anyways.
I wouldn't doubt it after all those years it's been empty.
Right.
It's not good for a building.
Okay, well, I appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you.
Chuck, can I see you after the meeting? Not a big deal.
Okay. Michael Rodriguez, 695 McKinley. Again, I appreciate that something that got put in Northfield and Randall, Northfield and Rockside, where the Applebee's used to be, or it was Broiler 65. Now it's a nightclub again. But we have there's another grocery store in there.
Yeah, that's open.
Yeah, it is. I've been in there, and I think there's two other businesses back in there too, and I think a third one's gonna open up. I just last time I was up here I wasn't a real happy camper about all that, with Simons and this and that. But it's like, thank you for getting something in there. And so I had no problem with semis parking in there, because at least it kept it busy. Now, I got one other, what about, it used to be a BP station, right on Northfield and, Columbus,
Yeah, it was Just Friends Restaurant and Bar.
Yeah, it used to be, it opened up one day and then shut down the next.
No, he never opened. The guy wants to put a seafood takeout place there. And I did see the other day he was over there, but I didn't get a chance to go talk to him. He told me it was gonna open last May. He's still working on it.
Yeah, well, I know, I saw the seafood, he covers the sign up, and it said, yeah, seafood takeout sign.
Yeah.
said, oh, one other thing, and then I'll leave you guys alone. How many daycares do we actually need in Bedford? I mean, you got the burger, Dairy Queen, which is becoming a daycare now. So how many daycares do we actually need in the city of Bedford? We don't have that many little kids running around here anymore, not like it used to be.
Yeah. And they're all doing business, I don't know. They'll kind of regulate themselves once they reach a saturation point. It's a private business, we can't tell them to open or not.
It's just one thing, it's just like,
Yeah.
it irks me, but it probably irks a lot of other people in here. It probably bothers other individuals besides myself. But it's like, I understand, I know, it's a business. It's money, the city's getting taxes. They're getting some city tax out of it. They're getting some money out of it. So with that, I'm done.
Thank you. Seeing none, we have a motion for adjournment by Spink, second by Salvi. Call the roll, please.
Stalvey,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes.